I'm Frank Mazzuca, and this is Mr. Liebsch. We're here for the weekly faculty spotlight. Mr. Liebsch, how did you arrive at St. Augustine Prep?
I worked with someone whose husband had been a teacher here, and so when I was looking at places to apply for a job, this school was on my radar. Not being from South Jersey, but understanding a little bit about how long it would take me to get here, it seemed like it could be a good fit if an opportunity had opened up.
What's the most rewarding aspect of your job?
Well, I think it comes down to being involved in something that I'm passionate about, which is the subject of history, but then also having the time to balance both the career and my family life as well. That's very important to me. And then I think I get to spend a lot of time with some young men that are of high quality character, from good families, good areas, and I think that's probably the most rewarding aspect.
You were a college athlete. Do you want to explain how the experience impacts you today?
Well, I think it kind of does it in different times of my life. I've been able to rely on those experiences. So when you graduate from college and you have those experiences, when you go to your first job, it does help a lot on having an understanding of balancing the amount of time it takes to get all the things in your life done that you want to get done. So you want to have fun, you want to enjoy yourself, but then there's also the business aspect of things. And sports in college teaches you a lot about time management. And if you're part of a program in college that's successful, you also understand the importance of the stakes being high at different times. And so in the business environment, those are great things to have in your background. As a teacher, I think the one thing it's given me is the understanding of what a lot of the students here want for themselves when they graduate from high school. A lot of guys, whether it's sports or the arts or some of the clubs they may be involved in, they don't want to just do school when they go to college. And so I have an understanding of that, and maybe some of the experiences I had, I can share with them as they try to plot out what they want to do when they leave St. Augustine.
What drew your interest in the subject of history and ultimately your decision to teach it?
Well, I think when I was young, I used to think about I would be a lawyer, right? And so in high school, the classes that are sort of related to the law and government is history. And then when I was in college, I was a government major, political science major, and the aspects of political history were most appealing to me. So then when I thought about teaching as a career, I went back and got a master's degree in history, which just furthered, my desire to teach the subject. And so it was really that combination of initially thinking I might be a lawyer, which really got me into the content, and then that evolved from political science into history. Can
you walk us through your typical day?
Typical day, I get up, which is what everybody has to do when they start the day, right? And then I get in the car and hop over the Walwood Bridge and start hoping that the expressway doesn't have an accident. I tend to figure out whether 55 or the expressway is going to be the best way to get down here, and put on the radio, try to just relax a little bit. And then, when I teach, that takes up the day here. And then normally when I get out of here and I head home, one of my sons has a practice or something might be going on for them at night. And after that, it's, try to put dinner together and get some work done and go to bed and maybe watch some TV. Cable news.
Some college football.
Yeah. Or college football.
Mr. Liebsch, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book is a book called Grant and Sherman, The Friendship That Won the Civil War. It's about Ulysses S. Grant and William Sherman, and basically it is a study of their friendship. But what I really like about it is that both men, before the war, were, for lack of a better word, they were kind of losers. They had each experienced some issues personally. Grant had issues that caused him to be removed from the army with his drinking. And it's about how the war gave them an opportunity to really find the skills that they had all along. and they embraced that challenge, and they were able to essentially band together and win as generals the Civil War for the Union. So it's a very good book about friendship and adversity and sort of overcoming things and sort of reinventing yourself as you get older.
Having you as a teacher for the last 2 years, I've had the opportunity to learn a bit about yourself. You've had experience traveling for big companies to settling now as a teacher. Can you explain how you adjusted that jump?
Well, it's definitely a different world, but I think in my previous career, I had to spend a lot of time in front of a room, whether it was a presentation or training and things like that. So there was always elements of being in front of a group of people. And I think that now, as a teacher and transitioning into that part of it's there. But I also feel, the energy level as a teacher in the high school environment is different, but it's inspiring as well. And I think in terms of the travel aspect of it, having been in a lot of those places has allowed me to maybe relate to the content that I teach to the students a little bit, being in places like Asia and India. And as guys your age will find out, the world's a lot smaller than it used to be. So it's nice to be able to relate some of those experiences to you guys and some of the cultures you'll have to deal with as you get out into the world. And you won't travel to just New York during your lifetime. You'll have chances to go to Asia and Europe. Eventually down the line, I could see business booming in places like Africa as well. So knowing that those things are out there, learning about the history of those cultures, I like trying to merge some of that together. Frank, hopefully I answered your questions for you, and thanks for taking the time to stop by today, and I appreciate this interview.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.